Alright, this one's gonna be on the locate command. Apparently not a lot of people know how to use it, so we'll do a tutorial here. There's some issues with my shell also, so let me show you that here. So up top here we'll use bash, and if you use the locate command, right, you want to use -I because you want case insensitive. Since you don't know if you know your files is capitalized or lowercase, so that's what the I is for. And when you're searching for this, you want to use wildcards. So you go like star color. We're looking for this file called color wheel. Oh yeah, another thing is that if you use the locate command, it only searches for file names. It doesn't search for content. You know, like people want to search like inside their files. It doesn't do that. Only file names, right? But anyways, this is how you will search for the string that you want. So I know that the name of it is like color wheel, and the asterisks are wildcards, right? And there you go. You see that it finds your files really quick. And if you really want to open it, you know, you can just like double click on here and it'll highlight it. Let's say for example this one, right? And you type in xdg-open, and then you paste that sucker in, and then it'll open it with your default viewer, depending on whatever the file is. If it's a PDF, it'll open it with your PDF file. If it's, you know, a movie or whatever, open that. If your file has spaces like this and you want to open it, you know, you still have to highlight it, but you do xdg open, and then you have to put it in like single quotes or double quotes. Alright. Oh shit, I messed it up. xdg open, and we'll paste that sucker in there. Close it with the ending single quotes. Open that sucker. There we go. This is the image. So that's how you would open it once you find your files, right? The thing is, like if you're using bash, you know, it will work just fine using what was that? You know, like the asterisk here. But if we type the same shit on our ZSH shell here, locate -I, and then color wheel. See, it says no match found. Basically because it doesn't recognize, or it wants us to put escape codes in here. So escape codes are these slashes for the special characters. So our special character is a little star shit, right? So you want to put that, and it'll work the same thing as before, right? So that's the only difference that I noticed when you're using bash or ZSH. But we don't need this top one no more, so we'll delete it. And another thing, if you want to update your database, because you know it has to find the files on your system, right? To do that, you just type in sudo updatedb, and that will do, you know, they'll refresh your database and it'll add something new stuff to it. You probably want to run that like maybe once a day or something like that. Just add it to your cron tab. Now by default they don't add or they don't index your external drives. Your external drives are basically the drives that are you know, in your media folder, right? You know, all these other ones like your external that I have here. So by default they don't index that. Now if you want to, you know, enable that, you have to go sudo, and then we're gonna use, I guess, nano here because that's easier. You want to go and update this file here, right? Sudo nano tc update db config, push enter, and in here it says, what is this one, this path part here? This is where all the paths that it excludes itself, right? So all these paths that's in here, it will not index. So there was this one called /media, and if it says that in there, you want to delete it because that's where your external drive is at. Some people have it in their MMT file or MMT folder. If yours is in there, then, you know, delete it from here, and then it will start indexing those. that's all you gotta do in here. But anyways, you can go X here to save, and you can hit yes, or I mean Y for yes, and N for no, whatever. I already have it, so I'm gonna hit no, and that's all you gotta do. And make sure you run the sudo updatedb again if you just added your external drives. That's pretty much it, okay, for that. And let's go back to the commands here. So we did what was that, locate, color wheel here. Not sure why, but this one works too. If you don't want to use these slashes, you can actually use well, if you're using ZSH, you can do this one. Alright, single quotes around it, and it works the same. For basic usage, the wildcards, the stars and shit like that, and that's fine. You can find your files real quick, like JPG, right, and it'll just filter it out. Basically, it has to go in the same order. Like you can't say like wheel color. You have to be color wheel if the color thing comes first. So whatever the path is, you want to say, okay, I know it's in pictures. You can always put pic. You don't have to spell out the whole thing, but you get the idea. And it will say that, okay, the first one is definitely has a picture word in it. Next one is color. Third one is wheel, and then the fourth one has JPEG in it. So that's just how that works, right? For basic usage, that's fine. But if you want to get into more I guess like filters or something like that, you have to use like regular expressions, right? And how would you do that stupid thing? Well, regular expression, in the locate command, you have to use -R. Since we already have the -I in there, we're just gonna put the R next to it, right? And in here, when you're using regular expressions, the wildcards like these stars here, it doesn't really work anymore. So if you enter it, see, it doesn't work. So the wildcard now becomes a star. So you gotta do star for all of these ones, and then it will work like it normally did before, right? But that's not why we use the regular expressions for. We want to use it because you can actually filter it out. So for example, if we're just searching for, let's say what we did before, like what was that, color wheel, right? Before we did color wheel, and let's say you want to filter out, I just want the GIF files and maybe the PNG files. How would you do that? Well, using regular expressions, you can go like at the end here, we do a parentheses. Inside it we have this OR operator. It looks like a pipe sign, but in here with the regular expression is the OR operator. And so we say I want GIF, I want PNGs, I mean not PNGs, JPEG. Alright. And you have to escape it. So to do that, we're gonna do, well, let me do a wildcard here too. But to escape the parentheses, you have to slash like we did before. Slash for that OR operator, and slash for the other parentheses. Now when you run this, there's some issues here too. See, we wanted to get rid of the PNGs. We just wanted the GIF here and the JPEGs only. But this one has the JPEG and PNG also. So how would you get rid of that? You can use the $sign at the end. The $sign means that I want the files just to end in JPEG or GIF only, right? Whatever we had here, or any other word you want. It doesn't matter, but that's what the $sign means. All right. So when we do this, there's no more PNGs or anything, right? It just GIF or JPEG, right? So you can do that with like other files too, but like for example, I think I have some Naruto shit. No, we don't need this. Naruto's I have, let me see here. I have, what is that, EPUBs, and I have, what's the other one called? CBZs, right? There you go. So you can see that it filters out the EPUBs and the CBZs files. Yeah, so that's what you can do in there. There's a few other shits, but I think that's enough for regular expressions. This is a tutorial for a locate command. Anyways, do I really use it like this? No, I actually made my own I guess functions to do this, because I don't really remember to type in these stupid shit or this line here or pipe sign, whatever the hell it is, right? I actually made up my own function and I'll show you what it is here. Call it discover, and what it does is basically it fills out all the stupid things that you would normally do, like with escape, the parentheses and all that. So for example, we did color wheel, right? Before we did a star, color wheel, what was that, wheel and star or whatever. Well, you don't have to type out that stupid star shit no more. Just type it out normally, like color wheel, and pretty much it does the same shit. What else is there? Yeah, I think that's about it. Like, or like for example, another one that we did last time on our cover video, earth, and then PDF. If I spell it right, PDF, right? And it finds it real quick. So you don't have to do any of those goofy what was that, star or whatever it is for wildcards. The spaces is filled in with wildcards, right? Give you another example here that we just did. So if you're doing like regular expressions with those special characters or whatever, then we're gonna use the same thing again, discover, but you have to put it in single quotes or something like that, right? Or maybe double quotes, whatever you want to use. Single quotes, and you're searching for, what was that, we did Naruto, right? Space, and we want to do the parentheses thing, epub cbzs, right? There we go. And then we find the same shit that we did before. It's just that it looks cleaner than we had before with the escape and shit like that. What else is there that we need to talk about? I think that's about it, And you can still use the dollar sign if you want. Like, I mean, what we did before here. That color wheel. Oh no, that's not the format. We did GIF and PNG. Oh no, JPEG, I mean. Right, you can still use the dollar sign at the end here. Look at that. And I'll just filter out those ones that we did earlier. Anyways, that's my function. Let me show you what the function is, how it looks like. Right, basically it takes whatever you typed in and it's gonna set out spaces, and it fills it with the dot star wildcard. And if there's a or operator, it's gonna put a slash or for escapes, and it does the same thing for the parentheses and this parentheses too. And then just adds it to the locate, ignore cases and regular expression, and then the keyword, whatever you had here, paste it here. Anyways, that's how that works. Hopefully you know how to use the locate command now. Do you need to do all this goofy stuff? Not really. You can just use the the first thing that I show you, and that'll be sufficient enough. But if you want to get more into it, then you can use regular expressions. That'll be it for this one.